Hello students, good day to you. Thanks for joining me for a quick review of the course syllabus. If you haven't already done so, please print the syllabus and read it before going through this review with me. All information is important. I want to highlight the things that somehow seem to escape attention. First of all, my name's Lynette Earberry, and I would like for you to call me Lynette. You can contact me. Here's my work and my home phone number. You're welcome to use either one, but please no calls at home after 9 p.m. I have an office in the business building. It's 330M, business building, 3rd floor, north side of the building. And here's my email address. I have a consultation hour where you may drop by and see me on Monday and Wednesday between 9 and 9:50. Those are the only days I have scheduled classes, but I am around on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you'd like to drop by and see me during those days, please call and make an appointment, or email me and make an appointment first, just to make sure that I'm in my office when you come by. During the registration process, you're going to be asked for a course ID, and I give that to you now, as I'm not sure what order you do the orientation in always. You'll be asked for this ID during the My Accounting Lab registration process. I have instructions on how to complete that a little later in this orientation, but there's your course ID. One thing I do want to bring up here, a very important note. You can register on My Accounting Lab and begin using a 14-day free trial if you have not yet purchased the book and the access code. And an ebook is included in that free trial. So you can get started and get going on this class immediately or even before the semester starts using that free trial period. Getting behind is a bad idea in an accounting class. So don't not start just because you don't have the funds to purchase your supplies or haven't got around to it yet. Let's move on. The textbook for this course is Holmgren's Accounting, the financial chapters, 10th edition, and you are also required to purchase My Accounting Lab access code. All homework and testing is done on My Accounting Lab, so it is required. It's a little spendy, $140 or so, but it's also everything you need for Accounting 1120, so you're paying for 2 semesters worth of books. Not that bad. You can purchase both the access code and book in a bundle from the bookstore. And I recommend that you do, because most students who finish this course tell me they wanted a copy of the book. That way you can reference it while you're doing your homework, and you can reference it while you're testing. You will be locked out of the ebook during tests, simply because you can't leave the test once you've started it. The ISBN numbers for both the book and access code and just the book are available to you here, should you need that. I'm going to skip the course description and go right to course procedures. Please read that, even though we skip it. This course uses a lot of technology and a lot of learning experiences. Resources available to you include interactive tutorials, problem walkthroughs, and a variety of media that I created. I call them podcasts. Most of your homework and your tests will be completed online on My Accounting Lab, but there is a comprehensive problem and a final exam that will be completed by hand. My course utilizes a read, a watch, and a do learning pedagogy. You are assigned specific pages to read where you familiarize yourself with material, watch instructor-created media where you master the material, and then show that you've mastered it by doing related homework. I call it the Read, Watch, and Do report, and it has proven effects for learning. Let's move on and explore 2 very important tools available for you. First of all, the Accounting Lab. You can receive personal help with your homework in the Accounting Lab. It's located on the Redwood campus in room BB118 on the 1st floor. You can also arrange for tutoring appointments in the Accounting Lab. The lab hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., making it available to most people's schedules. And it's available Friday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Note that early closing time so that you don't get caught expecting to be able to use it on a Friday afternoon and you can't. Use of the lab is free to Salt Lake Community College students. And again, personal tutoring is available. They'll drop in and they'll show you how to sign up for it. My favorite tool for you this semester is, of course, the course schedule. I made it for you and it takes a lot of time, so I must think it's worthwhile. It organizes all your reading, media, and homework assignments together into small amounts of related material that can be completed in one sitting or maybe two. Following it will save you time because you won't be trying to figure out how to do something or where the related reading is for a particular problem. It will save you effort because you will have watched media that shows you how to do what you're about to do, and overall it enhances learning. It's that read, watch, and do approach. You're encouraged to reference that schedule often throughout the semester. It includes all due dates of tests and homework, and it's a useful tool for planning your life around and for pacing yourself through the material we cover in the semester. Let's move on. During the semester, you'll be required to complete homework and media and then test on those topics. Homework assignments are an integral part of the learning process for accounting. There's no doubt about it. And your homework will be completed for the most part on My Accounting Lab. You'll get 3 attempts per each question, and you'll be able to submit it. It's due by 11:59 p.m. on the due date shown. Get instant feedback when you submit it. Submitting means you need to submit it by 11:59 p.m., not open it. You can open it late and submit it late if you choose to, but if you do, you're subject to a 10% per day penalty, and there are no exceptions to that. If the homework due date isn't working for you, keep in mind you can submit all homework early. You also have media assignments for each chapter. They too must be completed on My Accounting Lab to receive credit. Now there are media links available for the same media on the course schedule, but that's for review purposes only. You need to complete it on My Accounting Lab to get credit. Sorry about that interruption. Let's get rid of that. Media assignments are due before class for on-site students, and they're due by 11:59 p.m. with the homework for online students. Again, you get 3 attempts on them, and you can submit them late, but they'll be subject to a 10% per day penalty, and there are no exceptions to that. You can, however, submit them before the due date if the due date isn't working in your life. Let's move on. I'd like to make one note on the media. I made the media myself because I believe that you need some explanations, some demonstrations, and some FaceTime like you would get in a class. There is no big plot, and there's no storyline to my media, so it's kind of dry. I have never been up for an Academy Award. I try to be a bit amusing at the request of students, but I'm not a comedian. I'm an accountant. My phone rings, my dogs bark, and occasionally my computer tells me I just got an email. I got to figure out how to shut that off. But I can't edit those things out. So, given I made these just for you for free, I didn't get paid a dime for it, please realize these things happen. Maybe they aren't professional productions. In fact, they're not. They're just me chatting directly to you as though you were sitting in my office. I'm sorry if you don't think they're professional, but I really hope you find them worthwhile. Let's move on to testing. We have several chapter tests during the semester and a final exam. Sometimes the test will cover 2 chapters. Chapter tests need to be submitted by 11:59 p.m. on the due date. That's not opened, that is submitted. Now this is important to note. Late tests are not allowed except in extreme circumstances. You cannot submit tests late and just accept a 10% per day penalty. They won't even open for you. This rule applies to everyone. If you have a late test extreme circumstance, you must contact me and I will open the exam for you once we've talked about what happened. I use exams to drive deadlines in this class, and you need to be with me every time I start on a new topic. So not allowing late exams isn't meant to be punitive. It's meant to help you be successful in completing the semester timely. There is a final exam, and this is kind of a negative way to word it, but it's necessary to say it this way. Students who receive less than 50% on the final exam will fail the course, regardless of their achieved overall grade at that point. It's department policy, and there is no exception to this. What I would say to you, I've said before, study in such a way as to learn the material, not just to get it done and turned in, and this won't be a problem. The final exam's completed by hand on paper, so I think you should consider doing some of your homework by hand for each chapter, just to practice. That's good advice. You can work ahead and finish the course early if you're in good standing. You can take the final, the tests, everything early if you'd like. Finally, you're expected to work independently on all tests and on the final exam. Any academic dishonesty will be dealt with according to the Salt Lake Community College Student Code of Conduct. I don't anticipate any problems with that, but I have to say that on my syllabus, should I in fact need the protection of that code. I'm sure we won't have any incidences of that. Let's move on and talk about course grading. The following categories and weights are used to determine your grade. We have homework, tests, and a final, and here's the associated weight of each group. Notice that tests are worth 3 times as much as homework, but you have to complete your homework to even get a B in the course. So homework and tests are required, and you need to take them on time and not get dinged for lots of silly penalties. You can check your course grade anytime you want throughout the semester. Just look at your achieved percentage on My Accounting Lab on the My Results page and trace it to these numbers. If you're between 93 and 100%, you're in line for an A. If you're, say, 85%, you would be in line for a B. But when you look at that, keep in mind that you need to receive a score of over 50% on the final exam to pass the course. Let's move on. Salt Lake Community College is committed to fostering and assessing student learning outcomes and assessment of it. The 2 things that are assessed from this course are performing the steps of the accounting cycle, we use the comprehensive problem to assess that, and your ability to comply with generally accepted accounting principles, and that is assessed on the final exam. You also will need to create an e-portfolio assignment. The accounting department requires that all students complete an e-portfolio signature assignment for each class. If you don't have an e-portfolio already made, you could start on that right now. Jump to the college website, follow the tutorials for making an e-portfolio, then you'll have one available. You need it for all of your classes early at the community college. You can get help on that online with the tutorials, like I said, or you can go to the library. In the basement, they have a lab for students. I went there and left with a nice e-portfolio in less than an hour, so I recommend that approach. Let's move on. Some students require ADA accommodations. If you have an ADA accommodation requirement, I need to be told through the Disability Resource Center. It can take a little bit of time to put in place, so get this started as early as possible in the semester as you can. The DRC determines eligibility, and they make the final accommodation recommendation to me, and then I put it in place for your course. You can contact the DRC. They're in the Student Center on the Redwood campus. Here's their information and fax number. Please don't wait to do that if that applies to you. Moving on to communications. Really important info here. Most of our communications take place on the email account, and the one I use after the start of the semester, 2 weeks in, from then on, will be the email that you registered with when you set up your My Accounting Lab account. So when you register for my accounting lab, use the email address that you will check most frequently. I expect you to check your email really often. If you don't, you're going to miss important time-sensitive material from me. And here's an interesting item. I'm going to read it verbatim. Please use complete sentences and grammar in your emails and other communications with your instructor. This provides an opportunity to practice professional business standards in your communications. You are and LOL and other such things are not part of an acceptable business language. We, the faculty, have been asked by our local employers to share this information with you. They're a little distressed on how you communicate when you leave the college and begin your professional careers. So let's start by practicing using business communication standards now. Moving on to the course outline. In this course, we'll cover 10 chapters with these topics. Notice we actually skip chapter 10. We go from 9 to chapter 11. Chapter 10 will be covered, but it will be covered in your Accounting 1120 class. The homework for these related chapters can be seen on your course schedule and My Accounting Lab. Moving on. Some notes about responsibility. One big one and then 3 little ones. First, successfully passing this course requires that you take responsibility for completing the course material, and it needs to be timely, and you need to understand the content. When I say understand, I'm thinking at an 80% level. Getting behind is the number one reason for not being successful in this course. Avoid getting behind by pacing yourself using the course schedule and by adhering to deadlines. The course schedule is designed to move at the pace a regular on-site class moves that meets twice a week. Following the course schedule will ensure that you don't get behind or miss any assignments. Additionally, it lets online students know when on-site classes what they're working on, should they desire to attend one. If you'd like to do that, get in touch with me as the semester progresses. Now some more notes from me. Note number 1. Accounting's best learned by covering the material at an even pace over an even period of time. Cramming does not work. Taking this course is like eating an elephant. Take it in small bites, one at a time, and it won't choke you. Hence the course schedule and the regular due dates. Note 2. The first 4 chapters contain material that needs to be understood to be successful in completing all the remaining chapters and indeed all your future accounting classes. Invest the time needed to learn the topics covered in the first 4 chapters in a timely fashion, and the rest of your semester and all future accounting courses will benefit. Chapters 1 through 4 are a big deal. Last little bit here. Note 3, homework and media assignments can be submitted late with a penalty, but this does not apply to tests. In an effort to keep you moving, late test deadlines are fixed, and late tests will only be test deadlines are fixed, and late tests will only be accepted in extreme circumstances. Each test is worth about 10% of the course grade. You don't have to get an A on all of them to get an A in the course, but you do need to not miss any of them. All test due dates are listed on the course schedule as well as my accounting lab. So print that schedule maybe and keep it handy so you don't have to have a computer to know when testing is due. Finally, good luck to you. I mean that. I hope you have a wonderful, successful semester. I am really happy that you decided to enroll in my course. I plan on developing a relationship with you. Maybe you'll drop by my office. Maybe we'll just chat via email. You shall get used to the sound of my voice. Please keep in touch, check your email regularly, and let's get this show on the road.